Can talk.
I'll start.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak before I do.
So let's just say there appears to have been a confusion as to who should start to speak. Sara Mahesh said that they've got to decide among themselves. Who's not in the picture is actually Pratap Simha. He was standing in the corner as well.
How many of them are from the field taking care of the
Sitaraman was
rehabilitation
saying
work?
firstly that is the MP going to decide? Is it about the district in charge minister who's going to decide? Is the DC going to speak first? Figure it out among yourselves. And then inform me. Do not do all of these confusing statements in front of you. While also stating to the media, look, the mic is on, so you can just record whatever you want to record. So fuming defense minister there.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak before I do.
And of course, the question that arose is, do I need to speak after the district in charge minister? A question perhaps on protocol, but the defense minister visibly angry, visibly upset,
How many of them are
fuming.
from the field taking care of the rehabilitation work? I do not want one person.
And also the fact that rehabilitation should not be disturbed. That is what she has stated. Rehabilitation should not be disturbed.
वैसे माइक ऑन भी है ना, so don't worry, रिकॉर्ड कर लो जितने चाहिए.
Ma'am, they are the district NHPWD.
You can talk.
I'll start.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak.
So there she directs the deputy commissioner to speak, to address, and then eventually the district in charge minister Sara Mahesh also chimed in.
नहीं मारता, आप लोग decide मारते हैं, okay?
And Sara Mahesh stating that Nirmala Sitharaman should decide, but Nirmala Sitharaman saying that it is up to you, not up to me.
How many of them are from the field taking care of the rehabilitation work? I do not want one person who is going to be upsetting the rehabilitation work here.
Now, following this, there was a
statement,
a substantial statement made by Nirmala Sitharaman. Let's just listen into the whole press conference first.
वैसे माइक ऑन भी है ना, to come here. That was explicitly given as a request from my side. But if after that also some of you all have come here, I'm very grateful that you've come here. But quickly I would like you to go back. And therefore I'm very grateful that the minister in charge reminded me that there are officials here who are sitting, who actually have to be in the ground. So I've held some of my visitors there and come to attend this here. Very grateful for all the good coordinated work that you're doing. You have been very cooperatively working together with the various agencies which the district collector has listed out, whether it is NDRF, whether it is the armed forces, whether it is the state authorities, whether it is the irrigation officials or the roads public works department. All of you all have been working together. So I'm very, very grateful. And after this, of course, once my scheduled as per the program list, whatever program that I have to complete, I complete, and then I meet very briefly with the media. But I'm very grateful to all the district authorities under the leadership of the district in charge minister, the MP and the DC, and also the SP, and senior legislative assembly members, speaker and MLA who've been here for 5 terms, 6 terms, some of them. You've really made sure that people are immediately given some rescue and relief, for which all of us are grateful. But as is the procedure, the chief minister has also been speaking to me. The in-charge minister has also said about what kind of a rehabilitation package has to be given. I understand the emphasis which Honorable Speaker has made, that this is not a district where industrial activity happens. It's more an agrarian district. So we have to keep all this in mind. And once the assessment team comes from the center to evaluate the actual loss, whether of homes, whether of estates, whether of coffee field work, or of workers who have suffered, villagers who have otherwise suffered, and so on, let the assessment be made by the procedurally the central government's team which comes. Post that, the state government can also present its own assessment. I think the central government's relief and rehabilitation package would be after that. So it would not be wise on my part to second guess what the center should give or what the center cannot give. I will not engage in that speculation. But once the team comes and makes an assessment, into which all your inputs also will be taken, and with your inputs, the central assessment team can come up with a figure. I'll certainly, from my side, towards what I have to do, I will go meet with the Home Minister, Minister for Roads, Minister for Telecommunication and Electronics, who's also taking care of the BSNL. The district collector was telling me, MP was telling me that connectivity, in spite of several towers, is still a problem here. Roads have taken a thrashing, complete beating, whether it's the national highway or the state highway or the village connectivity roads. We have to be very careful of how we are going to restore it. I will definitely meet up with Nitin Gadkari on the roads. I will speak to Home Minister because he takes care of the National Disaster Relief Funding. And obviously, certainly go back to the Prime Minister to give him a report of what I've seen here and what I've heard from all of you. So with that, and also during the press conference, maybe I can come out with a few announcements that I want to make, which is not necessary to hold you all back. You can go back to the relief work that you've been doing. So thank you very much to all of you, the Minister in charge, the Speaker, the very senior MLA, and also the Member of Parliament and other officials before me and on the dais also, for this extremely well coordinated relief and rehabilitation steps. We are all with you. I'm sure we'll take the message to Delhi. Thank you very much.
That's the preliminary statement from Nirmala Sitharaman, but we'll be cutting across live right now. The interaction with the media is continuing. Let's listen in.
Indian Army and Indian Air Force have been deployed as the district administration has wanted it. In fact, the Chief Minister called me late night and said the next morning he wanted to do an aerial survey, for which I readily agreed and said helicopter facility should be given. And I understand the Honourable Chief Minister has also gone on an aerial survey of the district. Today I have seen the major loss and destruction which has happened. And together, when I went in the morning, you had the in-charge minister, Speaker of the Assembly, ex-Speaker of the Assembly, and also a very senior MLA who's been MLA for the 6th time, also joining us, together with a Member of Parliament. I'll be releasing a press note, both in Kannada and in English, but for your just brief understanding, I want to just tell you what we have deployed. There were 2 sub-columns of the army that were deployed in Mukkodlu and Kalur in this district. A column consists of 2 officers, 4 junior commissioned officers, JCOs, and 70 Jawans. Apart from this, engineering task force consisting of 1 officer, 4 JCOs, and 34 other rank Jawans, along with 4 boats, assault universal type, general boats, and 4 outboard motorboats were also part of the rescue and relief operations. Indian Air Force Mi-17 helicopters flew nearly for 10 hours cumulatively, and those were about 16 sorties. 16 sorties adding to 10 hours of cumulative flying happened, but I was getting reports in Delhi that many a times when the sortie was really moving over, they could not come down or do any winching operation because of the cloud cover. So I was getting report that the Air Force was deploying, hovering around to see, at least to see, as a recce operation if there are families or people waiting and seeking help. But because of the cloud cover, the Indian Air Force's attempt with the helicopters could not be used for winching operations or even for recce related operations. So today, I understand the Ministry of Defence Armed Forces have constructed 2 temporary bridges in Mukkodlu and Kalur. The temporary bridges are built only because we need to give immediate connectivity. What I have agreed, because the district administration has repeatedly asked me that the road connections will have to be restored at the earliest. But of course, the nature of the damage does not allow us to do anything as an immediate short-term measure, because the landslips are still continuing. You see, the road is on a fragile base. The base is still weak. So I've agreed to the district collector that a task force of the BRO, Border Roads Organization, can come only as consultants. They can advise the state government as to what can be done, how to do it, and go back. Because it requires a long-term planning, the nature of the roads being what they are, and if Madikere, which is a very important center, doesn't have except for one connection working now, you need to have a lot more thinking on how to restore this area. So I will certainly assure you, the state administration and the district administration, that the task force of the BRO, the Border Roads Organization, can come as consultants. You may please take their advice, because they are reputed in making such roads in border hilly areas where landslides had happened several times, and they've restored it with certain kind of strength and longevity. So I will certainly send the task force so that the state government and the district administration can benefit from it. In the 3 days during the peak of the calamity, I understand by the Indian Army, 504 persons have been rescued. And on 18th August, 160 persons were rescued. 19th August, 199 persons were rescued. And on the 20th of August, 145 persons were rescued. All put together is 504 persons. Thereafter, after that date of 20th August, there's been no requisition from the state government of Karnataka for any more further rescue. So after the 20th, for the Indian Armed Forces, from the state government, there has not been any more request for rescue operations. So these are the details I wanted to mention. I'd like to say that because obviously in Kodagu you have a lot of ex-servicemen living, and this district has contributed a lot to the Indian Armed Forces, the defense public sector undertakings, there are 3 of them in Karnataka. I have requested all 3 of them who are present in Karnataka to contribute some money towards rehabilitation.
Here we have Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman addressing a second press conference in which the district level authorities are not present now. The district in charge minister, Sara Mahesh, is not there. The deputy commissioner is not there. The associated MPs and MLAs are not there. Only Nirmala Sitharaman speaking about the area.
They give a DPR for a road construction.
Joining me live from the newsroom is my colleague Arun Sundaram. Arun, what are the takeaways from the series of presses that we've been having? Firstly, confusion to begin with over what seems to be protocol, and now a rundown of the services being pressed into Kodagu as well. Go ahead, Arun.
Well, Nikhil, apparently it looks like a case where perhaps there was some kind of communication mix-up between the government of India's Defence Ministry or Raksha Mantralaya and the government of Karnataka, or perhaps, to put it more succinctly, the district administration of Kodagu, because this was a visit which has been planned in detail, but whether there was provision for this press briefing, whether the idea was that you will see the defense minister, Raksha Mantri, going around assessing for herself the extent of damage that the rains have done as far as the district of Kodagu is concerned. So that's the question. Apparently the fact is that she perhaps wanted to spend more time on ground assessing for herself the kind of damage that Kodagu has seen, the way in which people have been left, people and livestock have been left completely displaced. After all, remember, at the end of the day, she is a member of the parliament. She is a member of the parliament in the upper house, that's the Rajya Sabha, and she represents the state of Karnataka. And there is one important statement that she has made, that she acknowledges the debt of gratitude that people have towards the district of Kodagu for the kind of people they have provided for the armed forces. And she's gone on to also say in as many words that the three public sector undertakings in Karnataka will be contributing their might as far as rebuilding Kodagu is concerned. These are very comforting words. We hope that the matter is taken up immediately and relief is provided so that the important work of rehabilitating the people who are displaced. The flood is now a part of history. It will now be consigned to the books of history. What is important and where there should be no let-up is the process of rehabilitating the people. You have to physically rehabilitate them, you have to socially rehabilitate them, you have to ensure that people are able to pick up the bits in their lives and life is carried on. Mere words is not sufficient, so you will have to ensure that these kind of meetings take place on a regular basis and there is a proper appraisal mechanism so that work gets done underground, on the ground rather, Nikhil.
Well, Arun, do stay on the line with me. Let's just take a look once again at the part preceding the press conference, where Nirmala Sitharaman and Sara Mahesh seem to have a bit of a confusion going on, perhaps a little bit of an argument. Let's just take a quick look.
I do not want one person who is going to be upsetting the rehabilitation work here. Let me be sure. I thought your district arrangement is such that you're calling only people. हाँ माइक में जब बोलेंगे बोलेंगे जी. वैसे माइक ऑन भी है ना, so don't worry, रिकॉर्ड कर लो जितने चाहिए.
Ma'am, they are the district NHPWD.
You can talk.
I'll start.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak before I do. मैडम डिसाइड नहीं मारता, आप लोग डिसाइड मारते हैं. Okay? Sorry? Let it get recorded. How many of them are from the field taking care of the rehabilitation work? I do not want one person who is going to be upsetting the rehabilitation work here. Let me be sure. I thought your district arrangement is such that you're calling only people. हाँ माइक में जब बोलेंगे बोलेंगे जी. वैसे माइक ऑन भी है ना, so don't worry, रिकॉर्ड कर लो जितने चाहिए.
Ma'am, they are the district NHPWD.
You can talk.
I'll start.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak before I do.
We'll now slip into a short break and return with discussing this interaction as well as the press conference a little further. Stay tuned.
प्योरिटी के 100 से अधिक नेशनल व इंटरनेशनल पैरामीटर्स पर खरा पतंजलि हनी अपनाएं और प्योर हनी के नाम पर 250 ग्राम हनी पर ही 52 से 95 रुपए तक बचाएं।
पतंजलि प्योरिटी की 100% गारंटी।
This is the world-famous Modera Sun Temple. The sun god himself adorns this monument every morning with its first rays. We are in Patan, and this is the well of Rani Udaymati. We know that wells are deep, this one knows, but that they are tall. Seeing one for the first time. The Toran of Vagnadar. There are pages of history here, carved in rock, stories made in stone. Just listen to their music.
Welcome back. Now, if you're just joining us, there is a press conference that has taken place in Madikeri involving Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. But in the run-up to that press conference, there was a great deal of confusion, a tete-a-tete, if you will, between Nirmala Sitharaman, the Deputy Commissioner, and the District in Charge Minister Sara Mahesh. There was a confusion over protocol as well. Let's once again play that interaction.
District arrangement is such that
मैडम
डिसाइड नहीं मारता आप लोग डिसाइड मारते हैं ओके सॉरी लेट इट गेट रिकॉर्डेड how many of them are from the field taking care of the rehabilitation work? I do not want one person who is going to be upsetting the rehabilitation work here. Let me be sure. I thought your district arrangement is such that you're calling only people. हाँ माइक में जब बोलेंगे बोलेंगे जी वैसे माइक ऑन भी है ना सो डोंट वरी रिकॉर्ड कर लो जितने चाहिए
Ma'am, they are the district NHPWD.
You can talk.
I'll start.
Yes, please start. And the in-charge minister can also speak before I do.
There we have it. There is that interaction that took place with Nirmala Sitharaman. I've got Arun Sundaram live with me from the newsroom as well. Arun, let's talk about this particular discussion, so to speak, preceding the press conference. What seems to have gone wrong here? Is there a protocol issue that was lapsed?
Nikhil, prima facie, it appears that there seems to be three issues. One is obviously the issue of protocol. The second is perhaps the list, the program list that was drawn up by perhaps the government of Karnataka, or to be precise, the district administration of Kodagu in consultation with the district in charge minister Sara Mahesh, and the kind of acceptance of that program list. Obviously, it could have been a case. I mean, this is again this is only a hypothetical assumption. Nothing is being clarified. It could be a case where perhaps the district in charge minister himself wanted the defense minister to go around more to figure out or assess for herself the extent of damage that has been caused by the rains. That could be only possible assumption that I can draw, because if this press conference was called in a very hurried manner, I mean, it's not that the press corps didn't know that the Minister of Defense, Union Minister for Defense, is coming down to Kodagu today. It was a known piece of information. The point is, this interaction where you had several other senior leaders and elected representatives, you had, as the minister herself said, you had the former Speaker of the Karnataka Assembly, KG Bopaya present, you have the BJP MP for Kodagu Mysuru, that is Pratap Simha present. Besides that, you had all the other district administration officials. So clearly this was perhaps a closed door meeting to which the media was not allowed, but then you suddenly found lots of people from the media arriving there. So was it that it irked Nirmala Sitharaman because she had made provision for this meeting and then perhaps she wanted to continue with her trip? That could be the only possible inference. But the fact is that, remember, there is enormous responsibility when you have a visiting dignitary. I'm using the word dignitary because, remember, at the end of the day, who is Nirmala Sitharaman? She's a union minister and she holds a very important portfolio, that is the defense portfolio. And the security of the dignitary assumes paramount importance. It's perhaps ranking on par with the Prime Minister or even the Home Minister of the country. And you can't afford to have any lapses. So there is a sense of anxiety on the part of the district administration to perhaps roughshod over them and say that, look, we are following your program schedule is perhaps a little bit off course. But then the fact is that the district administration is doing its level best. It's trying to accommodate the meeting with the minister. So there needs to be a situation where you shouldn't get syndrome of frayed nerves, to say the least, Nikhil.
Well, thank you, Arun, for joining us with those details. More big news coming in. The massive debris clearing operation to start shortly across the district of Kodagu. That's the latest coming in. Hundreds of earth movers will be used for the operation. The earth movers will be clearing the blockage of roads due to rain. So a massive operation clearing mud and gravel and even large rocks away from roads that have been affected by landslides. The debris clearing operation has already begun. Several earth-moving equipment, bulldozers, will be engaged in this operation.
ನಾವು ಹುಣಸೂರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 15 ಗಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆದಂಥ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗಳಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಗಳು ಧೃತಿಗೆಡದೇನೆ ಛಲದಿಂದಲೇ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟಂತೂ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ರೋಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡೋಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಓಡಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Now, with floods receding in the district, life is slowly getting back to normal. A domestic dog was seen waiting for its human parent without food for the last 4 days outside a house that had collapsed. The Hattioli village was destroyed completely because of the floods. Most of the residents were displaced and staying in temporary shelters. But the scene of this dog waiting outside the house is certainly heart-wrenching. Here's the little dog waiting for its human friend. Has been without food for 4 days now. So it's not just the humans but even animals that are bearing the brunt of this. Animals are being fed as and when they're seen, but here's a dog that is refusing to leave the vicinity. The smells perhaps of the house and the occupants still linger. And the animal still perhaps believes that the owner of the house is still there. And it's not just the people of Kodagu who are reeling under the massive floods. Animals dependent on people, left without anyone to take care of them. A team from NEWS9 was seen helping to feed a dog that was left dry and hungry without anybody to take care of it. That we're seeing on the left of the screen. Though many have been displaced from their houses due to floods in Kodagu, they still celebrated the festival of Varmahalakshmi at relief camps across Kodagu. Festival that they had all planned to celebrate with a great deal of pomp and fervor in their own residences is not possible now. They had to be away from their homes, but still that did not stop them from coming to the center of the relief camps and setting up a little table. Some offerings were also made. There were offerings made. The bangles that are usually kept in front of the deity were seen kept here as well. Vermilion and turmeric, as well as offerings in the form of bananas. But one can sense the sadness in their eyes while they try to celebrate this festival. Sadness that they could not do this in their own homes, could not do this with the finery of the celebrations. Now today is the festival of Varmahalakshmi. We at NEWS9 wish all our viewers a very happy festival. This being the festival of Varmahalakshmi, devotees, especially women, were seen thronging temples dedicated to goddess Lakshmi all through the morning. The festival of Vrata, as it is pronounced in local parlance, is performed by married women for the well-being of their family members, as it is believed that worshipping goddess Varmahalakshmi on this day is equivalent to worshipping Ashtalakshmi, the 8 goddesses of wealth, earth, wisdom, love, fame, peace, pleasure, and strength. The festival is celebrated by decorating an idol of goddess Lakshmi with a sari, flowers, fruits, gold jewelry, and other offerings placed in front of them. Here is the deity from the Lakshmi temple in Guttahalli. And hundreds of women gathered in the temple early this morning. All ages too, and even a few men. And on that note, that's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Up next is a News9 special where we tell you stories of those affected by the floods in Kodagu. Stay tuned.
Years later, you won't remember the meetings, the business trips, the official memos, the late nights. What you'll remember is joy. This festive season, your BMW is easy to buy, easy to own, and has a secure future with the BMW 360 plan. Joy starts now.
Come experience international furniture designs at Indian prices. Up to 60% off at Royal Oak. Visit the store or log on to royaloakindia.com.
Which is the responsible oil for cooking?
Sunpure.
How is it responsible?
India's first chemical-free processed sunflower oil. It's #1.
So what?
I'm responsible for my fitness. So, Sunpure.
The responsible oil. Sunpure sunflower oil.
Hello and welcome. You're watching News9 with me, Vijay. For this past fortnight, the stories that have come out from Kodagu have been horrifying, and we have brought you images and reports from the affected areas. Residents are now coming to grips with life after the rains and floods. There are still many people living in relief camps, and with many still unlikely to return to their homes soon, the government seems to be making all arrangements for them. And what transpired in those relief camps, even as people make it a temporary home? School children are being now taught at the relief camps. Classes are being conducted for them. Even as that is happening in Kodagu, there are other activities too, which we will tell you in this News9 special. The rains have wreaked havoc across the beautiful coffee land of the south, Kodagu district. Incessant rains, massive landslides, houses collapsing, like in the images behind me, have left the district in a complete mess. Each visual that emerged from the district showed the vast devastation that the district was subjected to in the last week. One such video that went viral was a video of an entire house sliding down in the landslide, just like what is happening behind me. It sends chills down everyone's spine. The collapse of the house is more than just a loss of property. For the residents who once resided here, it is a loss of their hard work and dreams. We bring to you the stories of these victims of the flood fury in this special.
Rains leave Kodagu devastated. In the past 1 week, Coffee Land Kodagu has been reduced from a picturesque tourist destination to a land of damaged and destroyed homes and roads. You've heard of landslides. This is a house slide.
One of the first few videos which went viral of a house sliding down like a bus in Kodagu district was from this very spot. Now we are going to show you what the condition is of this very house. You can see that a lot of materials from the house is still lying around, and nothing has been cleared. This is in Muthappa temple layout, where a lot of them have taken this video as well. Now all of you have seen the kind of video which was there of the house sliding down, but today we are going to show you of the aftermath of the entire place. You can see there are many pipes, there are bricks, and there are the cement compounds which are still lying around. And in the far distant corner, you can still see the house still lying around like that. It is around 40 by 60 site, approximately about that much, and the house is still lying around there. No one's gone to that area. But today, what we are going to show you is that everyone show you how the house was here and what happened on this very surface. But today, we are going to show you a ground report of how the house is now down there. Follow me. We have shown you how it is to see from top, but right now I'm standing in the same place where the house is collapsed, and this is the condition. Now this house, as you can see, was built a few years back and it has completely collapsed now, and all the materials which was there in this house has come to the surface. But this is not the point which needs to be understood. There are families which have lost everything and they are facing a lot of problem now. 5 different families have faced problems and they have their own stories to tell.
Families left in the lurch. A total of 5 families used to reside here in this building. But now the residents are left in the lurch as they neither have shelter nor do they have any property left. We caught up with the owner of the house that slid down. Mehrunissa, the owner, now has a lot to compensate. She now faces a loss of not just property, she has to cope with providing for both herself and her tenants.
I have with me the owner herself who's lost this entire house. Let's just go in and ask her what the situation is and how bad it is. Amma ivaga ee mane kashtapattu kattirsirtira. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ? ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ?
ಈ ಮನೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಲಾಸ್ ನಮಗೆ. ಮನೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜಾಗನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನನೇ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಅದಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಲೋನ್ ಇದೆ ಮನೆಗೆ. ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಲ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಮನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು 6.5 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮನೆಯೂ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಲೀಸಿನ ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಹ ನಾವು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಲೀಸಿನವರಿಗೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಲೋನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾನೊಂದು ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ. ಒಂದು ಕಿಡ್ನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಜೀವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಒಂದು ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ನನ್ನ ತಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಫುಲ್ ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲದಷ್ಟು, ಆರೋಗ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದುಡ್ಡಿಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸೇರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಸರ್. 75 ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನಿದ್ದ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನೀಗ 10 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ 5-5 ಲಕ್ಷ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕೇಳಿ ನೆನೆಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಸರ್. ನಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟವರೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟವರಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಉಳಿದ ದುಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ ಅವರ ಹತ್ರ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸಹ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮನೆದು ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಅವರು ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಲಾಸ್, ಮನೆನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದು ಇಲ್ಲದ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಸರ್.
Tenants unsure of future. Tenants who used to reside in this house are currently either living in shelter homes or in relatives' places. Their main concern now is about how long they can live off their relatives' money.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದವರಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ತೀರೋಗಿ ಒಂದು 15-16 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾನು 2 ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಓದಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರು ಈಗ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಅವ್ರು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸಹ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಸಹ ಈಗ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಮಕ್ಕಳದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಹ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಒಂದು ಮಗಳದು ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಮಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, 2 ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳದು. ಆ ಸಾಮಾನು ಸಹ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹ. ಈಗ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನೆಂಟರ ಮನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಡಿಕೇರಿ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಈಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜನತೆಗೂ ಈಗ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಸ್ಥರಿಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ತಿಂಡಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಆದರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಇದೆ.
Other families face a similar situation too. If that is the fate of the members living in the house that slid down, there are other families in the locality whose homes hang precariously and which might collapse at any moment.
There is another house which is on the other side, which is also in a reek now. We have the owner herself. Now, the kind of plight she is facing is because that house might collapse any minute and she's still living in the same fear, and she spent a lot on that house and now she has no other way to go and she has to give out her money, shell out her money as well to give out the lease money which is given to the other person. Let's just ask her what her plight is, what kind of condition the house is, what problem she's facing. ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮಲ್ಲಿ?
ಈಗ ನಾವು ಆಜಾದ್ನಗರದ ಗಂಜಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಊಟ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಗಂಜಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಮಗೆ ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆ ಬೇಕು. ಇವರು ಪಾಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ಇರೋದು, ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಲೀಸಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಲೋನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಇರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. ಅದಷ್ಟೇ ಕೋರಿಕೆ ನಮ್ಮದು, ಬೇರೆ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
If that is the owner's plight, the tenant is completely shattered.
We have the person who is staying in the lease. She is working. She is an independent woman who's been working as a tailor, and she has been working hard to make sure her son is well educated and she can run the family. Let's just go in and ask her what kind of condition she is in now. ಇವಾಗ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆಮ್ಮ? ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ?
ಮುಂದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜೀವನ ಏನು ಅಂತ, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 15ರಿಂದ 20 ಲಕ್ಷದವರೆಗೆ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಚಿನ್ನ ಇತ್ತು, ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆಲ ಸಮ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಜೀವನ ಏನು? ಈಗ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಹಸ್ಬೆಂಡ್ ಈಗ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಜಾಂಡಿಸ್ ಆಗಿ ತೀರಿ ಹೋದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಟೇಲರಿಂಗ್ ವೃತ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಮಗನ ಸಾಕೊಂಡು ಓದಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ಅವನ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ಲಿ? ತಂದೆ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಈಗ ತಾಯಿ ಆದಳು ನನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕನ್ನೋ ಆಸೆ ನನಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗನಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊಡದೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಇದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬದುಕಬೇಕೆನ್ನೋದೇ ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಮುಂದಿನಿರುವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು, ಆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯಾಗೇ ಉಳಿದು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಉಂಟಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನವೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಡ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದೇ ನನ್ನ ಕೊರಗು. ಈ ದಿನ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಬದುಕೋದು, ಜನರ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗಳು, ನೀವೇ ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗಳು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕೋದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ. ಅಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ದುಡ್ದು ಬದುಕುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬೀದಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೀವೇ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ.
It's a difficult time for the proud people. Kodavas are known to be proud and self-reliant. They are not a community known to seek help. On the other hand, they are the first to step in to help during a crisis. But this situation has left them disoriented and helpless.
ಈಗಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಗ್ತಾರೆ ಎನ್ನುವ ಅಂಜಿಕೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಈ ಯಾರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೋ ಮುಜುಗರದ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಗಂಜಿ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇಡೋದು ಹೇಳಿ? ನಾನು ಒಳ್ಳೆತನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮದುವೆ ಮಗನ ತಾಯಿ ಮನೇಲಿ ಬದುಕಿದವಳು, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗಂಡನ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಬದುಕಿದವಳು. ಈಗ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಬೇಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಸಮೇತ ಅವರಾಗಿ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ನಾವು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡಿವಿನ ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಡ. ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಸಾಮಾನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೊಡಗಿನವರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಮಿಸ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಈಗ ಅರ್ಧ ಬಿದ್ದು ಅರ್ಧ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಇರೋ ಸಾಮಾನನ್ನ ಸಹ ಜನರು ಕದ್ದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಸಮೇತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂದಿನ ಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಧಾರವಾಗಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದನೋ ಜನರ ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಾಯುವವರೆಗೆ ಋಣಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ದೇವರು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನ್ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Residents only request compensation.
NEWS9 is trying to reach out to these people as well. We are trying to make sure such people are the ones who are, uplifted in the society. And we urge the government, NEWS9 urges the government and the people to reach out to such people so that their life becomes much easier in the future. With video journalist Devaya, this is Suraj for NEWS9 from Kodagu.
Like we have told you, right through the last fortnight, incessant rains, flooding and landslides have caused vast amounts of devastation and destruction in Kodagu. But the Kodavas, they stand tall. Slowly but steadily, the region is limping back to normalcy. Some schools in the district have already reopened, while some others are shut for a little while longer. Take a look.
Kodava's painful walk back to recovery. If there is one quality that defines Kodavas, then it is their strong will and determination. As the Kodava land tries to come to grips with its reality, schools have started functioning once again. Several schools reopened on Thursday and school children were seen going back to school enthusiastically. Many schools were even taking in students from other regions. Relief centers buzz with activity. It's not just schools, relief centers that house many of the displaced families are buzzing with activity as well. Government school teachers were seen taking classes for students in the centers.
ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವರು ಏನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ರೋ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಏನು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಏನು ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮದಿಲ್ಲ ಪಠ್ಯಪುಸ್ತಕ 8, 9, 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪಾಠ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಪದ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆದೇಶದ ಮೇರೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Students of 8th, 9th and 10th are being taught specific subjects, while students of younger classes are being taught general themes.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ 8, 9, 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಅವರ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರೇ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಆಯಾ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಈಗ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. 8, 9, 10ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಪದ್ಯ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಟೀಚರ್ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಸೇಂಟ್ ಜೋಸೆಫ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ 2 ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಟೀಚರ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಟೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನರ್ಸರಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅಕ್ಷರಾಭ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
The teachers see no difference in teaching in the centers. They are in fact proud of what they are doing.
ಕೂಡ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು, ಅವರು ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅದೇ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ಲ.
That's not the only activity that's taking place in the relief centers. Families keep their surroundings clean. Families that are in the relief centers might have lost their homes, but they have definitely not lost their morale. Families here are doing everything in their capability to keep their surroundings clean.
ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಗುಡಿಸಿ ಬಾತ್ರೂಮ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಒರೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಡುಗೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಹಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಗಲೀಜಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವ್ರ ಪಾಪ ನಮಗೆ ಹಾಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ನಾವೇ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚಂದ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅದೇ 2-3 ದಿವಸ ನಾವು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಜನರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದರು. ಅವರ ಹೆಲ್ಪಲ್ಲೇ ನಮಗೆ 2-3 ದಿನದ ಈ ಶಾಕಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೇ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಾದರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಈ ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Well, the Kodavas sure do know how to get back on track. A big salute to this proud, resilient community. Sunil and Prashant for NEWS9, Madikeri.
In the wake of the vast amount of destruction and devastation in Kodagu district, one of the most harrowing experiences was identifying the damage and assessing it. In order to help the Fire and Services Department, a special team was brought in from Bengaluru. Now, who was in this special team? What do they do to help the department? How do their efforts help the operations? We tell you all about that in this NEWS9 special. Take a look. Vast amounts of devastation. Poor weather conditions. Kodagu is reeling under what is termed as one of its worst calamities in the last few years. One thing that has hindered the entire rescue operation is the harsh weather conditions and poor connectivity between one location and another. However, if there has been one thing of assistance, then it has been aerial surveys. Drones help survey devastation. Yes, these visuals you see on your screens are visuals obtained from a drone survey conducted by the Fire Services Department. And aiding them right through the operation was a drone expert team from Bengaluru. The team got down to Kodagu specially on the Fire Service Department's request. Right from helping assess the damage to identifying the stranded and trapped, the team has been assisting the Fire Services Department to the best of their knowledge. Their task was in no way easy.
Several property and houses have been lost in the entire flooding and landslide in Kodagu district, and for the same, a team was called from Bengaluru. The drone team was called to do a survey from the fire and emergency services themselves. Now I have with me the team themselves. Let's just go in and ask them why they came in, how the survey helped them, and what exactly happened in that area. Now, how many places have you visited, and can you explain your experience, what you saw in that entire area?
Yeah, like we visited around like 18 places. Like actually the transportation was very difficult. We needed to walk in muds and the rain, so around like 8 to 9 kilometers, like a very difficult task for us because we are a Bangalorean and we are like very new to this place, and it was like almost like a trucking places. We almost risk our lives with the slides, with the landslides. And we needed to move on, and we didn't have a place for takeoff, so we used our hands to take off, and we went through the trees and the flooded areas, muddy places, and the latest survey what we did, we found the 2 bodies, dead bodies, and it was very helpful for the fire service people.
Right. So now that you're talking about the 2 bodies which were found, now how did you identify, because it is a huge muddle of mud, so how did you identify that 2 bodies are present there? How was the situation that day?
That day, actually we flew in a low altitude the first time when we flew the drones, but we were not able to find any of the building. So we risked our drones to fly beyond like 200 meters to 300 meters. So we spotted a background there, a dot. So we went closer to that. Then we found that there was a house there, and we didn't find the bodies, but we found the house. Then then the team clarified that there was a bodies inside the houses.
How do they coordinate with the fire service department?
The entire survey has been commenced now, and you have done surveys in 18 different places. Now, how has this helped the service fire department? How have you been coordinating with them? Because a lot of places had to be covered. So how have you been coordinating with them?
They contacted us on 20th, and we arrived here, and we were the first team to come here, and nature was quite bad on that day. We started our operation on 21st in the morning, and for many locations we were the first to reach, and later we found that there was a lot of landslides, and especially roads were cut off. And we started from rescue we switched into damage assessment, and we located almost all the unconnected roads, especially the roads which are cut off from Kodagu. We went there and we did survey. There are 4 or 5 landslides in about 4 kilometers distance, and that distance by these JCBs clearing out all the muds. So that will take about a lot of time, I think.
We even caught up with the fire department and asked them how they managed the rescue operations with the help of the drone team.
Yes, ಸರ್ವೆ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವು ರೋಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದು ಮನೆಗಳೇ ಇರುವಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಮಣ್ಣಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಸಿದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಒಳಗೆ ಕೊಚ್ಚಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಮರಗಳು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮರಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿದ್ದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೋಡ್ ಸೇತುವೆಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಗಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಟ್ಟನೇ ಕುಸಿದು ಒಂದು ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಬೇರೆ ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೆಟ್ಟ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇದೆ, ಹೋಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟಕರ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Was it possible to assess the magnitude of damage?
ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಕಾಲೂರು, ಮುಕ್ಕೋಡ್ಲು, ಹೆಮ್ಮೆತ್ತಾಳು, ಹಟ್ಟಿಹೊಳೆವರೆಗೆ 1000 ಕಟ್ಟಲೆ ಎಕರೆನೂ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗದ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಂತೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ತೋಟ ಅಂದರೆ 25-30 ಎಕರೆ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರದ್ದು ಹೋಗಿದೆ, 1000 ಕಟ್ಟಲೆ ಎಕರೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಗಳು ರೋಡು ಕುಸಿದ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮರ ದಿಮ್ಮಿಗಳು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೃಷಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇದೊಂದಾಗಿದೆ.
Better weather will help operations. The drone team has helped out immensely even though the weather conditions are poor.
ಸರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಈಜಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸ, ಒಂದು 2-3 ದಿವಸ ಕಳೆದು ಡ್ರೈ ಆದಮೇಲೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಥಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಥರ ನಮಗೆ ಮಳೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕು, ಮಳೆ ಗಾಳಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿಂತರೆ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಯವರು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗ್ತದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಲಾಖೆಗೂ.
Fire personnel feel that when the weather conditions improve, the drone team can be a lot more effective. So, what inspired the drone team to join in the rescue operations?
Basically, we were observing all the news which was coming in from 16th, 17th. And of course the nature was quite fierce, and we knew that these areas are inaccessible, and even to go and do a survey and to get the visuals, and also we knew that even manned helicopters and other kind of things were not possible at all. And we got to know, and we contacted fire department. They said you come over immediately. And after we came here, we came to know that the winds are so bad and we can't find a place to fly, and rains were not allowing us to fly also. And we found small slots like 5-10 minutes, and we tried to get and help these people to just to find approach way to reach out to the places. That's more important, and definitely we're trying our best.
So this is the team today who has been helping the fire department, the different officials themselves, to make sure that the survey which is done here, so that it helps them to understand the entire topography now, the entire place, how the terrain is now. Also to get a survey as to how much plantation has been lost, and this is sure to help the entire department, the fire and services, the Indian Army, and as well as the government officials to estimate the entire loss in this Kodagu district. With video journalist Devaya, this is Suraj for NEWS9 from Kodagu.
छुट्टी के दिन डिस्टर्ब किया, सॉरी।
ये सुजुकी एक्सेस 125 इतना अट्रैक्टिव क्यों है?
कम पीता है।
और तुम?
Powerful 125cc engine, superior mileage. Suzuki Access 125, कम पीता है।
Introducing Kamdhenu Next, double ribs interlock steel.
जो दे 2.5 गुना ज्यादा bond strength. कामधेनु next generation interlock steel.
This program is co-sponsored by
Indigo Bright Ceiling Paint.
I follow the minister in charge. Central minister follows the minister in charge here.
Confusion galore between Nirmala Sitharaman and Sara Mahesh. A large number of bulldozers and earth movers are being mobilized to clear debris in Kodagu. Gargantuan task lies ahead. Women in relief camps celebrated Varmahalakshmi festival, celebrations in the midst of sadness and difficulty. UAE Ambassador Ahmed Al-Banna denies that the UAE government made a concrete offer of aid of 700 crore rupees to the Kerala government amid a war of words between state and centre. And Rohan Bopanna and Divid Sharan trounce Kazakh duo to win the gold in the Asian Games men's doubles. They win 6-3, 6-4. Hello and welcome to News9. I'm Nikhil Vasuki. We begin with some big news that has just come in. Minister DK Shivkumar reacts on students who were late for medical counselling. That's the latest on this front. Minister DK Shivkumar reacts on students who were late for medical counselling. Several students from Kerala and Kodagu were late for medical counselling due to floods. Shivkumar has said, can't allow students to attend counselling again, can't do anything on medical counselling. We have not received any complaints seeking fresh counselling. That's what DK Shivkumar has said. We can't allow students who are late for counselling.
Very sensitive place. Very sensitive place.
So, he said that this is a very sensitive case and the government cannot get involved in this. But at what level is there government involvement? There are many students who have not been able to attend the counselling because they were stuck in the floods, either due to lack of transport or were themselves victims of the floods. So, having said that, who should take responsibility? Why should the students be made to suffer because of this series of unfortunate events that took place in Kodagu and Kerala? It certainly leaves a lot to be desired as far as the response is concerned. Perhaps a grace could have been provided, but it does appear that DK Shivkumar, who holds the portfolio of medical education as well, has stated that the government cannot get involved in this. It's a sensitive issue, and medical counselling cannot have the government's purview. So that leads the question, where does the government have purview in this case? Can the government pull strings in order to allow certain cases of exception? There were a number of students who were late to medical counselling. They could not make it owing to the fact that there was a deluge happening in the state of Kerala, in the district of Kodagu. Transport was a problem. Should the students, the aspirants to medical seats, be bearing the brunt of it? Go Madhusudan, BJP leader, joins me on the phone. Madhusudan, as we're seeing it, the medical education minister here does not seem to want to get involved in the students' issues over here. Medical students or aspirants for medical seats are left in the lurch, and they could have been afflicted by the flooding. How do you comment to the government's reaction? Madhusudan, are you with me? We will try to get back to Go Madhusudan once again. So confusion over medical counseling. Certainly, this is where the lines need to be demarcated. And one would have imagined that there would have been some sort of solution. BJP leader Go Madhusudan is back on the line with me. Mr. Madhusudan, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
All right. So here's the situation. It seems that the government, led by the medical education minister here, wants to wash his hands of the problems faced by aspirants to medical seats. Counseling is not being postponed for those who are affected by the floods. How do you respond to that?
No, this is height of irresponsibility and mostly inhuman.
Right.
When we all know, the whole world knows that both Kerala and Kodagu, it is submerged. Some special weightage has to be given to the students who come from those areas, because we will not be knowing what the condition is prevailing in their hometown, in their villages. And if a weightage is given and if they are given some special treatment in appearing for the counseling, I think it is good. And it will not harm anyway the counseling of the state,
right,
whether it is medical or engineering as such.
Madhusudan, if I may quote verbatim what D.K. Shivkumar has said, he said it is a very sensitive and personal matter. Government cannot involve in it. It seems that the floods and being affected by the floods is a very sensitive and personal matter, not a matter of the state.
No, it is a sensitive matter, fine. But how can it is personalized? How can it be personalized?
Right.
How is a student responsible for the deluge in his state or in Kodagu? How can a single student is responsible for it?
Right.
This is ridiculous, illogical, and without any common sense.
Thank you, Madhusudan, for joining us with your opinion on this. That was BJP leader Go Madhusudan criticizing D.K. Shivkumar for this particular statement. But of course, we must ask this question at this point. Who is responsible, after all? If there are students who are willingly ready to attend the medical counseling, but natural calamities stop that from doing so, should the government not step in and provide an alternative date? Why is there a massive amount of confusion, and why do students who have gone through this calamity have to face this as well? As the row over the Central's refusal to accept foreign aid for flood-ravaged Kerala intensifies, much to the dismay of the Pinarayi Vijayan government, United Arab Emirates ambassador has reportedly said that the UAE had not made any official announcement so far over any specific amount as financial aid. Now, Defense Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also reacted on the topic, saying that she does not have any idea about this. She also said that what the Prime Minister has announced as relief fund is just one portion of the funds. Let's listen in.
I have no idea about what UAE is offered, but to Kerala. But what I can tell you about the amount which was announced by the Prime Minister was, it is only the first immediate installment which the NDRF, SDRF share and use. Whether it is Kodagu, whether it is Kodagu or Kerala, it is only after the central assessment teams which come, they make an extensive on-the-ground assessment and go back and submit a report. The actual repackaging or redevelopment package will be announced. So what is announced for Kerala till now is only one portion of what has got to be given immediately for rescue and relief. So that need not be mistaken as the entire amount from the centre.
Now, the UAE's apparent offer of 700 crore rupees as foreign aid had triggered the slugfest between centre and the Kerala government. The UAE ambassador to India, Ahmed Al-Banna, is reported to have said that since the assessment of the relief operations in Kerala was still underway, the amount announced cannot be considered as a final amount.
It is only after the central assessment teams which come, they...
Big news coming in from Kodagu district in charge Minister Sara Mahesh has slammed the centre over allotment of relief funds to Kodagu. He said, and I quote, "Centre has announced relief funds without taking proper report from the state. The centre should not resort to such stepmotherly treatment. The centre should immediately announce more funds to Kodagu." Sara Mahesh making this series of statements stating that the centre has short-handed Kodagu in the deployment of funds for relief, and the centre should not resort to such stepmotherly treatment. After all, this is what Sara Mahesh has said, that centre should immediately announce the deployment of more funds for the aid of Kodagu. Let's just listen in to what the District in Charge Minister for Kodagu said.
ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರ ಜೊತೆ ಚುನಾವಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತು ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ವೋಟ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಜನರ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪಾಪ ಅವರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಿಂದಲೇ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭೆಗೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿರುವಂಥವ್ರು, ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊತ್ತು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮನವಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಇಷ್ಟ, ಕೇರಳಗೆ ನೀವಾಗಲೇ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ನ ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೂ ಮಾಡಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜನ್ನು ನೀವು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮಲತಾಯಿ ಧೋರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿಗೂ ಸಹ ನೀರು ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸನ ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಂದಾಜು ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಘೋಷಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ₹1 ಹಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗರ್ಮಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
So that is what Sara Mahesh has said, that there was inadequate and inequitable release of funds for relief for the district of Kodagu, and that this was done arbitrarily without a proper assessment and reports sought from the state government over the extent of damage or the quantum of funds actually required for the rehabilitation of people of Kodagu, for repairs to be done as far as infrastructure is concerned, and rebuilding of lives in Kodagu.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜನ್ನು ನೀವು ಘೋಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮಲತಾಯಿ ಧೋರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ.
Meanwhile, the reactions are coming in after a conference between the district in charge minister and the Union Defence Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman.
ಅಂದಾಜು ಪಟ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ತರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಘೋಷಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ₹1 ಹಣವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗರ್ಮಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರ ಜೊತೆ.
Meanwhile, while we're talking about Sara Mahesh criticizing the central government, there was an interaction prior to the press conference where there was a bit of confusion and argument seemingly between Sara Mahesh and Nirmala Sitharaman. Now, Kodagu District in charge Minister Sara Mahesh has reacted on the Defence Minister losing her cool during the press conference after her visit to flood-affected areas. He slammed the Defence Minister, saying that she would not understand the procedure as she has not one seeking votes like other politicians.
I do not want one person who is going to be upset.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಸಂಘಟನೆ ಇದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ 9 ದಿವಸದಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವರು ಗೊಂದಲವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭವನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತು ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಕಚೇರಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೆಡ್ಸನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಭೆನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ಸಭೆನ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ನಂತರ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಆಯಿತು.
Bit of a critical reaction from Sara Mahesh against the Defence Minister, stating that there was a procedure, a protocol already outlined, but there was still confusion that was without warrant.
ಮತ್ತು ಜಿಲ್ಲಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಕಚೇರಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
At this point, we'll take a short break and return with more news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
मामा जमीन पे लेटना इतना अच्छा क्यों लगता है?
माता भूमि ही
पुत्रो हम पृथिव्यः। मतलब धरती भी तो हमारी माँ है ना, वैसे हमारे घर का फर्श भी हमें एक और माँ से जोड़ता है, गौ माता से, क्योंकि मैं पतंजलि गौनाइल से ही फर्श साफ रखती हूँ, जिसमें है पाइन ऑयल, वचा, लेमन ग्रास एवं पवित्र गौमूत्र की कीटाणुनाशक शक्ति और बेमिसाल सफाई।
Experience international furniture designs at Indian prices, up to 60% off at Royal Oak. Visit the store or log on to royaloakindia.com.
शादी की दुनिया में आशाटा डिस्काउंट को लोकप्रिय किया है हमारे पोथीज ने। अब बेंगलुरु में पहली बार पोथीज लेके आया है आशाटा डिस्काउंट। फैंसी साड़ीज, कांचीपुरम साड़ीज, चूड़ीदार, किड्स वेयर, मेंस वेयर पर मिलता है 30 to 50% डिस्काउंट। साथ ही 1+1 ऑफर। 3 तरह के क्रेप साड़ी सिर्फ 990 रुपए में, 2 कॉटन कुर्ते सिर्फ 499 रुपए में, ब्रांडेड मेंस वेयर पर 1+1 ऑफर और भी कई सारे ऑफर्स के साथ आशाटा डिस्काउंट। आशाटा मतलब पोथीज, केजी रोड, गांधीनगर, बेंगलुरु।
Welcome back. Now, with floods receding in the district, life is slowly getting back to normal. While we see several people affected, it's even the animals that are affected as well. A domesticated dog was seen waiting for its human parent without food for the last 4 days outside a house that has collapsed. This is in the village of Hattihole, which was destroyed completely because of the floods. Now, most of the people of the area are displaced and are staying in temporary shelters, but the scene of this dog waiting outside his house is surely heart-wrenching. Here's the dog seemingly attracted to the collapsed house by the smells, perhaps of the owners still lingering there, and the smell of the house, making the dog refuse to go anywhere else, looking for food, looking for some level of shelter. A very upset dog, barking and looking for his human friends. This has been reported from Hattihole. This is one section of the village that has been completely razed to the ground as a result of the severe landslides, heavy rains and flooding. Entire houses have collapsed. Life will take quite some rebuilding from here. Now, it's not just the people of Kodagu who are reeling under massive floods. The animals in Madikeri were also seen in want of food. A team from NEWS9 was seen helping to feed a dog that was left dry and hungry without anybody to take care of them. Here's a little dog chewing on biscuits that were provided. Dog behaviorist Amrut joins me on the phone right now. Amrut, we're seeing a little dog that is refusing to leave a collapsed house. What could be the possible reasons here? Is it the smell, perhaps, that is attracting the dog to the collapsed house?
See, there are 2 reasons that could be there. One, the dog, because dogs are territorial animals, so he would not want to leave the territory where he was born and brought up, because he still claims that they would still think that the owners would come back. That is what is being taught and trained them unknowingly. Every morning we go out for work and come back in the evening. Certain times we go out of station and come back after a couple of days. So the dog would always relate to that the owner would come back. That is one reason the dog is waiting there. And the second reason is if the whole house is completely destroyed and the dog is not wanting to leave, that also means that during the destructions there probably there has been somebody buried under. Knowingly, unknowingly, may not be of the same house. Maybe somebody else who's come with the flood, or maybe another animal who is probably alive. Maybe a cat, maybe another dog, maybe a human being, maybe a child, because we call them as search and rescue dogs. There are few dogs across the globe which are trained for search and rescue, as in whenever there is a natural calamity, the dogs are sent out to if there's a 12-floor building which is collapsed, the dog on top of the whole thing can walk around and come back and tell us that in the basement there was somebody who's still alive, or in the basement there's a human being who's not alive but the body is still there. So these dogs are trained to go and come back. But when we call it Indian dogs or the Indian street dogs or our mongrels, these dogs train themselves conditionally with their growth. You know, they have been with the nature, so they understand more than training. They know it themselves that how to rescue, how to save themselves, because they are the survival of the fittest.
Right. So Amrut, would it be accurate to say that despite how domesticated a dog is in such a situation, the instincts can kick in, even if the dog hasn't experienced life outside a house.
Sorry, I couldn't get that.
All right,
Please
so
come again, the last...
a completely domesticated dog that has been raised only within the four walls of a house, can the instincts kick in, so survival
100%.
instincts kick in?
See, we mistake that the dog is domesticated, whereas how much of domestication is done? 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day is when the human beings interact with the dog, a pet dog, and the rest 23 hours, the dog is again a dog. So it's lying down on the floor, a part of the nature, putting his ears down the ground, so he's able to understand what seismographic waves are coming and going, what natural calamities are happening. Whereas, in fact, if with tsunami and with our, I think, when the Pashupati, near the Pashupatinath temple in Nepal, when we had the earthquake, birds, especially birds and animals, in animals, the domesticated dogs, though they are domesticated, could clearly inform and understand that there is something which is bad going to happen, or there is some natural calamity that is going to happen couple of hours advance to which happen, and none of these dogs were trained to do it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Amrut, for...
end of the day, they're one with nature compared to what we are.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amrut, for speaking to us and giving us your insights. That was dog behaviorist Amrut stating that at the end of the day, survival instincts do kick in. Territorial awareness does continue with the dogs. Well, many have been displaced from their houses due to floods in Kodagu. They still had an opportunity to celebrate the festival of Varamahalakshmi at relief camps in Kodagu, albeit with an air of sadness. Sadness that they were not able to spend it with their families and on a larger scale at their own homes. But here, some attempts were made to fill that void with a special puja that was conducted. This is at one of the relief camps where you can see the aarti being conducted and several women participating in this, but you can still see the sadness, the disappointment that many of the women had that they were not able to celebrate this festival at their own houses. The offerings were placed in front of a deity that was brought in as well, an idol of a deity. Joining me on the phone is Katyayani, who is in one of these relief camps. Katyayani, thank you for speaking to us. It is Varamahalakshmi today, and the celebrations are there, but you're not at home. It must be very difficult for you.
No, it's not difficult. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy with that. They want such a support from our side. That's why we planned. Every time we are doing puja with our relations and our friends. This time I plan to do there, sir.
Well, you know, we must appreciate what you've done as well, because this has been a difficult 10 days.
Thank you.
For the people there as well, and what you're doing is also filling at least a few moments of happiness if possible, isn't it?
Pardon?
You're filling their lives with at least a few moments of happiness by organizing this, you know, everybody's together at least.
Even I'm also very happy, even that people are they are also very happy with this puja, sir.
All right. Well, thank you, Katyayani, for speaking to us. And we thank you for doing this for the people at the relief camp as well. So that was Katyayani, who in fact was one of those who was organizing this particular festival. And some arrangements were being made, although it is a difficult time. It's been 10 days of nothing but turmoil for the people of Kodagu. Having some semblance of joy, some semblance of celebration was a welcome bit of relief, if only for a few moments. Meanwhile, there were many who were sitting there. It's still a very difficult time, but some moments of relief. A massive debris clearing operation will begin shortly across the district of Kodagu. Hundreds of earth movers are to be utilized for the operation. The earth movers will be clearing blockages on roads that were in place due to rains. We have some reactions of operators of these earth movers for an understanding of the scale of operation. Let's listen in.
ನಾವು ಹುಣಸೂರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 15 ಗಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆದಂಥ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗಳಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಗಳು ಧೃತಿಗೆಡದೇನೆ ಛಲದಿಂದಲೇ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಲಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟಂತೂ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ರೋಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡೋಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಓಡಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
So the scale of operations are plenty, and private contractors are coming in. Some of them have about 15-20 such earth movers and bulldozers at their disposal, and they're bringing it in. A gargantuan task ahead. Hundreds of such earth movers will be engaged for the purpose. Meanwhile, just take a look at the amount of work that has to be done on the right. That is just one tiny cross-section of the amount of digging that these bulldozers will have to be engaged in. Several dozen feet of accumulation of mud has taken place. Now, each and every person who witnessed the recent floods and landslides in Kodagu have their own stories to tell. But have we ever wondered as to what could be the hardships faced by those who drive ambulances, the crew of ambulances as well, who were helping the ill and the injured during rescue and relief operations? Waterlogged streets, blocked roads, fresh landslides, and risks of landslides that could have happened. Patients battling against time. This was an everyday affair for the people working in ambulances. The ambulances have been providing yeoman service to the people of Kodagu as well. Let's listen to an ambulance operator.
Many people have lost their houses in the entire flooding and landslide of Kodagu district. Many people have lost properties worth crores as well. They have their stories, but today we are going to show you a different story where the rescue operation team have their stories to tell, because they are the ones who are at the spot and they make sure that they are brought to safety. Today I am at District Hospital in Madkeri town, where a lot of 108 ambulance rescue team people are the ones who are rescuing. They are at the spot. They make sure that these people are brought to safety at the earliest, and they always have their own stories. They give them the primary treatment. They make sure that they are safe, and they have seen it all. They have seen the critical conditions. They have seen people who are stranded. They have seen people who come walking. We have shown you all such stories, but they are the first witness to all of this. Let's just go in and ask them how their experience was, how many people have been rescued till date. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ? ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಥರ ಕೇಸ್ಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ?
ಸರ್, ನಾವೊಂದು 110 ಜನರನ್ನು ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಸೀನಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರಿರೋ ಮನೆಗಳಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೇಂದ್ರದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಇರೋರನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ. ಟೋಟಲ್ 110 ಜನರನ್ನು ನಾವು ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಇವಾಗ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ರೆಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರೋದು ಹೆಂಗಾಯ್ತು? ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು?
ಸರ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನೊಂದು ಒಬ್ರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆ ರೋಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಇದಿತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನಮಗೆ ಹೋದವರಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೊಂದು 4 ಜನ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್. ಅಲ್ಲೊಬ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಡೆಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಬೆಡ್ ರಿಡನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾವು 4 ಜನ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ವಿ ಸರ್. ರೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ನೀರಿತ್ತು ಸರ್. ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರೋಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬ ಹಪ್ಪೆಲ್ಲ ಇತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮುಕ್ಕಾಲು ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಜೀಪಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಕೂರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರನ್ನು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ.
We have another person who has seen such cases as well. He has seen people walking and coming from stranded places, and they have rescued them as well. Ivaga our story helkondru nimdu yavdu nim ನೋಡಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ದು ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ
ಸರ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊನ್ನಂಗೇರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಊರಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಒಂದು 8 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ದೂರ ತಾಯಿ ಮಗು 40 ದಿವಸದ ಮಗು ತಾಯಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅವ್ರು ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರ ಗಂಟ ಕೈ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು, ಬಟ್ ತಾಯಿ ಕಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಿಗಣೆ ಕಚ್ಚಿರೋದು, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಬಂದು, ಮಗು ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅವರನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆನೂ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಆನಂತರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆನಂತರ ಅವರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೇಂದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಜನಗಳನ್ನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸಿ ನಂತರ ಪುನಃ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೇಂದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದಂತೂ ತುಂಬ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದು. ಬಟ್ ತುಂಬ ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ರೋಡು, ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಹೋಗೋದು ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಅಂಥ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಹೋಗಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಒಂದು 3 ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ 108 ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇತ್ತು ಮಾತ್ರ.
ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಗು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿರಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್?
ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ತೊಂದರೆಗಳಾಗಿದೆ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಪ್ರತಿ 30 ಆನಂತರ ಇದು ಮುಕ್ಕೋಡ್ಲು, ಹಟ್ಟಿಹೊಳೆ, ಹಮ್ಮತಾಳ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೊಣ್ಣಂಗೇರಿ, ಜೋಡುಪಾಲ, ಮದೆನೋಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ. ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಗಳು ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂಥ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಬರೋದು, ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋದು, ಬಸ್ ಇದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅವರ ಇದರಿಂದ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂದ ಆ ಥರ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕೂಡ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತುಂಬ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಅದು.
So these are the stories of the medical team themselves who have been at the spot. They have always been there when people are the medical experience, medical expertise is needed, and they have always given the primary treatment. They have seen all the critical conditions and they have got them to this district hospital at the earliest. It is not just people who have lost their lives, lost their properties. It's not just their stories, but these people who have seen it all, they have seen it live. They also have stories, and they said it is heart-wrenching to see such things. With Yuga Devaya, this is Suraj for NEWS9 from Kodagu.
Today is the festival of Varamahalakshmi, and we at NEWS9 wish all our viewers a very happy Varamahalakshmi. Well, right here in Bengaluru, devotees from all across the city, especially women, were thronging temples of the goddess Lakshmi across Bengaluru. Festival, or vrata as it is pronounced in local parlance, is performed by married women for the well-being of their family members, as it is believed that worshipping the goddess Varamahalakshmi on this day is equivalent to worshipping Ashtalakshmi, that is the 8 goddesses of wealth, earth, wisdom, love, fame, peace, pleasure, and strength. The festival is celebrated by decorating an idol of goddess Lakshmi with a sari, flowers, fruits, gold jewelry, and other offerings placed before the idol of the deity. Here is just a glimpse of how the celebrations were early this morning at the Lakshmi temple in Guttahalli. And that's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Up next is a NEWS9 special where we talk about the geographical situation of Kodagu.
Hello and welcome to this NEWS9 special. I'm Pratibha. The last couple of weeks have been devastating for the people of Kodagu, and all that is left now for them are devastating stories. The most common sight across the district, was landslides. Many say that the landslides were caused by the earthquake which hit Kodagu on July 9th. So was the earthquake the main reason or the cause for the landslides? Let's find out.
Kodagu is now battling a tragedy of enormous proportions after rains pounded it. Fortunately, the coffee bowl of Karnataka has got some respite now as heavy rains have stopped in several parts. People have been left with nothing but stories and stories of devastation. Though Kodagu has been limping back to normalcy, it is interesting to note that there were foreboding signs of the impending catastrophe. On July 9th, earthquake of 3.4 magnitude reported in Kodagu. It was